Welcome back, everyone, to episode 40 of the Tricks and Traps Speedrun. So I'm coming into today, rated 1963, continuing the quest to 2000 ELO. And if you didn't see last episode, I had some really close calls, got myself in time trouble and just position trouble to Alien Gambit gone very wrong. So we might see some more dubious Gambits today, but hopefully I can keep raising the rating and provide some lessons. So let's hop into the first game. Okay, first opponent playing Utilize. I think going forward, as long as it keeps working, I'm going to stick with my E4, E5 repertoire, which sometimes is a Stafford. In this case, I'm playing against a Vienna Gambit, which I'm usually happy to enter. Queen F3. There's a couple playable moves here. There's F5 and Knight C6. Both moves have like good attacking potential. I'm going to play F5. It's a move that I know a bit better. And I'm not scared of en passant. Can then take back and then very easily develop and castle. Use a open F file and potentially E file as well. So white plays D4, which is not the main move. Pawn D3 is the main move. I think just bishop B4 here looks pretty good. Pinning the knight. And this is a really nice outpost. Knight supported by two pawns. And very likely I want to go for this move next. Knight E2 does reinforce C3. At the same time, it blocks a bishop, which could slow down white's development. Always got to consider the check on H4. But I'm mainly debating between C5 or castling. Not sure if there's a huge difference. C5, A3. Okay, let's play C5. Trust my instinct. If A3, I have the option of Queen A5, or just retreating, or maybe even taking too. And I really want to put maximum pressure on the center. White plays Bishop E3. So yeah, let's keep applying pressure. Very tense position. Knight tension, pawn tension. Still have the pin. White castles queenside. Yeah, I thought white might go for this, which I'm happy to see because there is attacking potential on the queen side. I'm wondering if I can like start with Queen A5. Oh no, my pawn, but oh no, white's pawn. It's interesting. Leaving my king in the center. Queen A5. I like it because I'm applying more pressure to C3. Like, even though the knight can move, it's now tied down to A2. I don't think this is good for white. Wow, pawn A3. So now it's time to calculate because I can take. If takes, there's check and win the rook. If knight takes, I take again and take, and white's crumbling. Oh, maybe I take here first. Yeah, I'm not sure if the move order matters so much. I can take with bishop or knight. Or even consider taking here. Wow. Yeah, choices. I mean, this is definitely an option as well. Idea being, if white takes back, I take with check first, and then take, and then take, and then take. And I'll win two pawns, but d5 hangs in the end. So it could get a bit murky. So one more time. Takes. Takes, king d2, and then probably just bishop e6, and I hold on to the center. White's king is in the center. Bishop d3, then I take. Yeah, let's go for this. And take again. And I could take on c3 first, but then there's queen d5. Oh, there's not queen d5 because the bishop hangs. So maybe I do take on c3 first. And then next take on a3. Like, it seems more attractive to take the free pawn with check, but I think this is more precise. If rook d3, queen a1 looks very good. Okay, let's go for this. Yeah, I'm happy I slowed down there a little bit. And it's important to note the queen is tied down to defending the bishop. There's no, like, bishop e3 to h5 check. Maybe that's the type of move a hustler could try in Washington Square Park, but not going to work in an online game. So takes on c5. Now I take the pawn with check. Still looking for candidate moves, but yeah, this looks pretty good. King d2 is likely to come. King b1 is maybe an option, though. King d2 played. Now I'm thinking just bishop e6. If I want to be really ambitious, I could castle, give the pawn, and then try and use a d-file. That looks interesting. Let's do it. So, oh no, my pawn. Now I'm threatening rook d8. And I think the d5 pawn was just kind of in the way of my things. Not only for the potential rook on the d-file, but also the bishop eventually developing. And now white's queen and king and bishop are still targets. Bishop d3 makes sense, though. So I don't have a pin. I'm looking at f4. Yeah, I like the looks of f4. Even though there's queen e4, I think I just have bishop d3 there. I really want to open my bishop. So there is a calculation, queen e4, bishop f5. If queen takes f4, I can take the bishop. My rooks are connected, so I hit the queen, and yeah, that should be completely winning for black. So I'm expecting, yeah, bishop f2. And now there's initiative. There's queen b4, there's bishop g4. Maybe I can start with queen b4. Because where is the king going? c3, queen b2. If king e2, bishop g4 is a skewer. And the king is actually going to be forced away from covering the rook, so it's a free rook. I mean, there's two legal moves here for white, king f1 and queen f3, both of which are pretty sad. So white resigns. Yeah, pretty smooth game. Hopefully a nice example of how to play against this opening. I know this is a pretty common gambit at this rating level. I think Gotham Chess used to promote this line heavily for white. Used to play it too. We had matches way back when in these queen f3 lines. And I used to play knight c6, which is a very playable line. But f5 is my move of choice. And yeah, the main line is d3, after which I would take the knight, take. And here there's a really important move for black. White wants to play d4, so black can play d4 himself and yeah, prevent white from getting the stable pawn center. And it's a very healthy position for black going forward. So what happened in the game? d4, bishop b4. Yeah, it just turned out to be very pleasant. And I'm curious if I missed anything. Engine slightly prefers bishop takes a3, but yeah, this also gives a nice edge. And here, wow, so the engine says bishop e6 is a top move. Leave both pawns hanging. Queen c3 is second best, though. And it all worked out. Yeah, maybe this wasn't the ultra precise way of playing, but I think it led to the most fun, and yeah, worked out in the end. So that brings me to 1971. Let's keep it going. Okay, next opponent from Indonesia, double GG79. Ponziani. I know there's a lot of Ponziani fans that always enjoy when I play this opening, so here we go. Opponent's playing one of the main lines, knight f6. And here there are two potential captures. General rule is whatever pawn is captured, you push forward to attack a knight, in this case d5. Now there is a really interesting gambit, bishop c5, which I think at this rating level, players probably don't know, especially with my opponent thinking here. Bishop c5 is the type of move you blitz out, like, because you've studied it before. So most players play knight e7, just save the knight. Knight b8 is also very playable. Yeah, knight b8, can I take... There are some differences, like if I take queen e7, and there's some potential concern, but then after queen d4, I defend and attack, so that should be fine. So both knights in the center. Yeah, I think queen e7 is actually maybe a positional mistake because it blocks a bishop, gives me initiative. Bishop c5. Okay, that's interesting. This is actually heating up. So I could defend. Like the safe move is probably knight d3, attacking and defending. I think queen f3 is probably one of the first moves to calculate. Allowing bishop takes f2, and then king d1. And then I'm hitting the knight and mate. I don't see how black is surviving there. Yeah, this actually looks really good. Queen f3. Let's do it. No need to defend when I can counterattack. Yeah, I am trying to play quicker compared to last episode, so in a situation like this, I maybe could have double or triple checked my calculations, but intuitively this looks really good. Maybe there's queen f6. Or castling. Okay, interesting. So white's gonna try and win back material. I should just take the knight. Expecting rook e8. Oh, there's d6 as well. And now there's bishop d3 to threaten h7 and prepare castling. Yeah, I think we're going to have a situation where I will end up losing back the knight, but maybe I can get a pawn for it. There might be some eventual f4. I think I have to start with bishop d3. And black has to deal with this threat. Like g6 is maybe one of the only moves. Yeah, g6. So I really want to castle and then play f4, but when I castle, the f-pawn is then pinned. I'm wondering about bishop e3. Bishop e3, take, push, and then take, and then take, and then take, and then take, and then here, and then here. Not sure about that. But I wonder if I can somehow make this knight f7 idea work. Yeah, this is the moment I'm slowing down. Take some time to calculate. There's f4 here, but then I can't easily castle. Queen f4 is interesting, but then queen e7. Yeah, I might just have to accept the fact I'm losing back material. As much as I want to be tricky here. Okay, so castle d6. And then can I go for this? Take, rook e8. I go back. And then if I lose a pawn, there's bishop c4 in the very end. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still up a piece in that line too. Okay, let's start with castling. Yeah, for some reason when I was calculating this, I thought I lose back the piece, but the knight still exists on d8. And I should generally be happy if d6 takes and takes, because I'll be up a pawn, and the king will be a target. So now black has to choose, do they take the knight or the queen? Okay, takes the knight. Queen f3. Okay, so this all worked out. Up a pawn. If we trade queens, I may be simplified, but I maybe play queen g3. Like black's king should be more of a target. Yeah, I'd rather keep queens on the board. Preparing bishop g5. And then develop the knight. And the general rule is you should not trade queens if you have the safer king. So, yeah, my king is feeling much safer than black's king. If queen here, then maybe queen h4. There's actually a trap, potential trap. Queen e5, queen h4, queen d5, bishop c4. Of course, black would probably defend h7 in that line. But even still, yeah, let's start with this. Always got to watch out for potential, like, counterattacks against my king. They don't work for black. I'm leaving the pawn hanging. King g8 looks pretty natural. If king g8, I'll play knight d2. Again, hoping for the eventual pin. But knight d2 is also just a nice developing move. Maybe eventually get the knight to e4 and someday f6. Okay, king g8. Let's develop. Oh no, my pawn. And it's a bit awkward for black to like develop the knight. This is off limits. Knight here seems a bit clunky. And any knight move will allow me to potentially go into f6. So I'm not sure what to expect here. I'm not expecting my opponent to take the poison pawn, but you never know. Okay, c6. I want to play this to induce queen takes pawn to still pin. That might be the way to go. I mean, there's rook e1. It does allow takes, takes, takes. I block on f1. I could throw in this move. Oh, maybe this is the way to go. b4, bishop b6, and then knight c4. I'm hitting the queen, d6. I like it. Let's do it. Yeah, it's an easy move to just not consider because the main focus is kingside and center. But, yeah, this should work. If takes, I can take here. Oh, but then knight takes. I really thought I can take pawn takes and then still pin. The queen covers c4. It should still be good somehow. But maybe there's no immediate knockout. Okay, black takes on c3, so... Yeah, in this line I thought I could take on d6, attacking the rook. Leaving the bishop hanging. But the pieces are beginning to swarm around the king. Bishop c4 looks good. I guess I have to watch out for, like, takes f2. Actually, bishop f2 is a small concern. Because then if I take, there's this. I might just go back. Oh, this is actually, oh no, actually the bishop hangs. What do I want to do? Rook d1. Let's play rook d1. Or take, wait a minute. This, bishop f2 I take with queen. But no, rook c1, queen d3. I keep forgetting my bishop's hanging. Okay. Too many hallucinations there. So I defend the bishop. My b pawn's defended by the queen. Maybe black will take here. Then do I have bishop e7? Trapping the rook? Does that work? Controlling all these squares? Okay, bishop c7. So if I play this, there's takes first. I'll play knight e4. There's a nice tactic here. Queen takes b4. Again, oh no, my pawn, but then knight f6 wins the queen. Actually, same thing with queen d4. Yeah, this position is really ripe for tactics. If queen e5, I have d6. And if takes, there's bishop c4 to win the queen. So bishop e6 is probably the best move. And now, okay, I like bishop c4 to start with. Just check the king. And the move I'm looking at, like assuming this or this, I have bishop d2. Maybe there's other options, but this is a really strong threat. So maybe black should play bishop d4. Like eventually I should win material. I'm also freeing the g5 square for the knight. So then threaten mate. Actually knight g5 threatens mate and threatens knight f7. So yeah, the line bishop d4, knight g5 looks pretty crushing. Okay, here I can play bishop c3. And the bishops are doing work. Take. Yeah, I think the game is going to end in within like 2 or 3 more moves. If takes, it's made into. This is made in 1. Okay. Nice game. Yeah, I think it was an effective opening. Ponziani. My opponent walked into kind of a tricky situation. Queen f3, and yeah, I'm wondering if I had anything better than what happened in the game. Okay, apparently black should play d6 first. What's the difference? Bishop d3. Ah, there's f5. Compared to the game, f5, there's queen f5. Okay. So white's much, much better here. And yeah, I did eventually find the best line, take on f7. And yeah, this is all very good. Yeah, maybe what I did wasn't the cleanest, but always felt quite good. Yeah, rook a d1. It's good I didn't hang the bishop. And all worked out. Got a very fun position. Nice finish. So that brings me to 1979. Let's do one more. Okay, playing John Carter 74. Stafford Gambit, not quite. Have another Vienna. Bishop c4, so not the Vienna Gambit. I want to be tricky against this. There is a line takes. I'm going to play knight c6. d3. And I'll play bishop c5, I think is an active option. Because sometimes white plays knight e2, and then I can go for the quick knight g4, but yeah, this is a bit different. There's no Legal's mate ideas. So let's go for h6. Okay. I was for a moment hoping for knight e5, but at this rating level, opponents will see the checkmate threat. Knight e5 is likely coming next if I don't stop it. So I could play knight e7. Actually, looks like a nice way to maintain the queen here. And this is a very typical move in these sort of Italian positions, where sometimes the knight maneuvers to the king side. Very often c6 will be played, restricting the knight and the bishop. And I'm relatively happy and optimistic with the position going into the middle game. a3. Am I scared of the possibility of like getting or taking away at least half my bishop pair? I don't think so. I think I'd rather focus on developing. But I guess I'll just start with c6. So it gives the bishop room to drop back. And now I have pawn d5 if I want. Yeah, d5 looks nice. Taking the center. If bishop here, then knight c6. Going forward, I mean, I'm looking at pawn d5. But then there's takes, or sorry, not pawn d5, pawn e4. Takes, knight d4. Not quite getting to f2. There's also takes, pawn e4. There's also bishop g4 first. Knight g3. Yeah, what to do? I'm enjoying the center. It's a nice position. I should probably not overthink too much. And if white gets a chance, they probably want to play pawn d4 next. So I'm thinking I'll start with bishop g4, induce knight g3, and then decide. This is a big threat. I'm calculating knight g3, queen b6. Attacking this and this. Not sure how great that is if white castles. White plays knight c3, okay. So walking into the pin, but attacking the pawn. I think I just defend rook d8. Just reinforcing the center, aligning with the queen. And I should consider this takes, but then knight takes. It feels really close to working queen a6 in that line. I don't think it's necessary though. I think I should probably just castle. Yeah, let's just castle. The position's so nice. A good harmony. If I want to, I could take, but let's maintain the pin. I'm not scared of g4. Yeah, bishop g6. And now the white king side is a bit tender. Yeah, I'm kind of dreaming of ideas of getting the queen to g3. So queen f4 is a tricky move. I guess white wants to play queen f3. Can I start with this? Yeah, pawn e4, restricting the queen. Take. I guess I have to calculate knight takes. Take. Then both queens are hanging. I have queen h4. Seems really close to working, but maybe not. Yeah, what to do? Oh, I made a simple oversight. Queen, yeah, queen f4. I was scared of this, but then I take the free knight. I guess there's king g2. But then maybe e4. Okay, let's start with queen f4. Yeah, king g2 instantly. Oh, I really want to get my knight to h4. Like, this is maybe kind of slow, but it's worth considering. I mean, now's probably the time to play e4. The pawn's supported. And this is actually a nice square for the queen, where it can't easily be attacked. Even though, yeah, just as I say that, I'm realizing this is a move. We see pawn d4. Free pawn? Knight e2. Knight e2, queen e5. There's also bishop d6. Threatening mate. So probably forcing rook h1. Yeah, another moment. I'll take some time. I'm looking for a follow-up after rook h1. Like e3. E3, then take, check. That looks really good. I think I just do it. Yeah, going for the kill. And it's such a nice setup. There's going to be f5 ideas, maybe eventually. Okay, now I can check. And now f5. I could also take the pawn. I really want to open the f file. I don't think I'm scared of losing the d pawn. Yeah, let's play f5. If g5, then f4. If that, then I take, and the queen is pinned. Okay. So, yeah, I took a lot of time this game. Didn't realize how low I was, but it worked out. Win the queen. And yeah, white is not surviving this. Check. 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 Checkmate. Okay. Good game. Yeah, fun attacking game. Sometimes these openings can start off a little bit slowly, but generally I'm happy to see bishop g5 if I haven't committed to castling, because white usually either plays bishop h4, allowing g5, and then I did have a game in a recent episode where the bishop gets stuck here, sometimes black can castle queenside. But as we saw in this game, when the bishop takes the knight, then I get the queen to a nice active position, and the queen is not easy for white to target, especially after knight e7. I built up the position nicely, got the center, and life was pretty good. I'm just turning on the eval bar. Yeah, queen f4 looked good, and felt like a pretty smooth game. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Hope you guys enjoyed the chess today. As usual, if you like the content, do subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.